What's up, guys? We're 7 days away from UFC 205, so what I decided to do was release a prediction video every single day leading up to fight night. The first time in this video right here, I'm going to do the predictions for the Fight Pass prelims, 3 fights. Then I'm going to do the Fox Sports 1 prelims, 4 fights. And then the 6-fight main card, I'll do that one day at a time, really getting more in depth, breaking down those fights in more detail for you guys, giving predictions, all that sort of thing. This is easily the biggest card in UFC history, so it warrants this sort of extra effort to try to do more video content, really ramp up to the event because I'm extremely excited for it. So we'll start with the Fight Pass prelims, starting with Liz Carmouche versus Kayla Chukagian. You know, Caitlin is undefeated at 8-0. She's 1-0 inside the octagon, defeating Lauren Murphy. That was back in July 13th, I believe. This is easily the biggest fight of her life, not just because of the stage, but because of the opponent, which brings us to Liz Carmouche, one half of this historic fight against Ronda Rousey, the first woman to ever fight inside the octagon. She obviously lost that fight, went on to defeat Jessica Andrade, who's now actually a strawweight, before losing back-to-back fights to Alexis Davis and Miesha Tate. Oddly enough, she also is coming off victory over Lauren Murphy, but hers was all the way back in April of 2015, the last time she fought inside the octagon. For me, this one comes down to ring rust. Obviously, Liz is dangerous. She's likely the better grappler. She has the edge and experience as well, but she's been out of the game for a while. And in this time, Caitlin has actually been streaking. She's full of confidence, or should be heading into this one. She actually fought 6 times since Liz last fought, which is nuts when you really think about it. MMA is a game of momentum. I think that she has all the momentum heading into this one. Expect her to win. I do think this will be a decision. I don't see a finish in this one. I think Caitlin will take some time to adjust to this gigantic stage. Liz has proven to be extremely durable throughout her career. So I don't see a finish in this one. I think it'll be a decision, but nevertheless, I do think Caitlin's going to win and really put herself on the map. I mean, she's already kind of in MMA circles, been touted as this like big prospect, but I think this will really put her on the map in more mainstream circles. Second, we have Tim Boetsch versus Rafael Natal. Boetsch is one of those guys who is exciting but doesn't have the best, win-loss record. He actually lost 6 out of his last 9, but he's coming off this impressive win over Josh Saman. And it's kind of difficult to even highlight that given the passing of Josh, but it is an impressive win, so it kind of has to be noted heading into this one. But he's more of a fun fighter. He's one of those guys who gets in these wars, these back and forth exchanges, these rock'em sock'em robot type fights. And I don't think that lends well to his fight with Natal, unfortunately. I think Natal is technical enough and durable enough to survive any sort of flurry that gets thrown his way. I think that he will have the ability to get the best of the exchanges, land the big shot, and ultimately get the knockout. I actually think the knockout's coming fairly early in this one. I think it'll be the first round, maybe early in the second, but I do think it'll be sort of a back and forth slugfest leading up to the finish. I do think Natal gets that knockout and gets his hand raised. By the way, I'm sure they threw that on that card to kind of set the mood, set the tone for the night, get everyone excited. We've seen sort of momentum carry throughout cards when you have an exciting fight early. We've seen how it's gone on and really set the tone for the rest of the night. So I'm sure that's why this fight is early on. By the way, going back to Liz Carmouche, I think that fight's on there to sort of profile Caitlin Chukagian and show her as a true prospect. But moving on, we have finally Thiago Alves coming back for the first time since May 2015, taking on Jim Miller. They've been throwing some pretty great fights in this slot, typically that Fight Pass headliner slot, so this is obviously no exception. This is a great matchup. It could definitely go either way, but I'm going with Jim Miller. He's been streaking lately. He's coming off back-to-back wins over Takanori Gomi and Joe Lozon. Joe Lozon was a split decision. I think he won it. I don't think it's that controversial, but not obviously the most sure win, so that kind of counts against him. But he still beat him. Still beat Joe Lozon, who's very tough in his own right, obviously. Basically defaulting to the whole ring rust thing. I think that it comes down to ring rust. Thiago Alves has been out of the cage for a long time. Like I said, May of 2015. Jim Miller has really been looking at his best lately. So I think that when you compare those two sort of trajectories, I think that Jim Miller takes this one. I actually think he takes an exciting back and forth decision. I think we'll see some knockdowns, maybe some near submissions, a lot of really exciting exchanges. I think that's why it's in this slot, because these guys tend to deliver every time they step in the octagon. But I think Jim Miller win this one. Probably a decision, but not a boring decision. Caitlin may win a boring decision. It might be a little slower pace. I think this will be an exciting decision, but I do think Jim Miller wins it. And every fight from here on out, including that Jim Miller versus Thiago Alves fight, could be a main event, either a fight night main event, maybe even a pay-per-view main event in a lot of these cases. Obviously, 3 title fights coming up, so very excited to break down the rest of these fights. The Fox Sports prelims are nuts. I even thought about maybe breaking those down fight by fight, but there's not enough days left in the calendar up to UFC 205, so we're going to have to wait on that. I will break all those down at once. That video will be coming tomorrow, so Sunday. And like I said, we're doing a video every time leading up to UFC 205 and breaking down these fights, giving predictions. So hopefully you guys keep tuning in. Definitely keep it locked to MMAmad.com. We'll have all your stuff there. You can find me on Twitter at Nick Rizner MMA or MMA Mad Official on Facebook and Twitter. that does it for this one. So I hope you guys enjoy. Keep tuning in. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Hopefully we'll see a steady increase in numbers leading up to this card. But thank you guys for watching, and take care.